Hi, hello. How's it going? How's the weather? Very weathery, am I right? Do you like jazz? Right, so pretty much a day, right? Just gonna sit have a chat, first. I'm gonna tell you about me, the poem I wrote the other day. Then I'll tell you about current plans, and I've even got some book suggestions. Isn't that fun? Pause for a drink. Place to drink. So firstly, I'll show you the poem. I do apologise for the format of the video. It was meant for YouTube Shorts, except from it wasn't short enough for YouTube Shorts. And then after I've showed you the video, I'm going to do a reprisal of the poem because I didn't particularly like the start of the poem. And then halfway home from where I originally recorded it, I was like, oh yeah, that's a much better start. So you get to hear one poem twice, but slightly differently. Walking past the houses, the sound of people doing garden work, snippets of music drifting down an empty street, a phrase or two echoing. A mile or so from the old town estates, the clusters of people can no longer be heard. Instead, you're left with the crunch of the grass beneath your feet. All this commotion, alert and the creepy crawly, sending them buzzing and fluttering. An angelic song sung by small birds, contrasted with the monotonous humming of the nearby factories, create a strangely hypnotic tangle of sounds. After a while, you're caught up in a warm breeze, and the faraway pylons draw ever so near, the crackling bleeding into the soundscape, the twist of a bottle top, the clatter of sticks on sticks, the faint tiptoeing of something small. These are all sounds of a small town walk. Thank you. And now it's for time for the reprisal. Want to find the page. Walking past houses, the scrape of trowels in the gardens, snippets of music drifting down an empty street, a phrase or two echoing. A mile or so from the old town estate, the clusters of people can no longer be heard. Instead, you're left with the crunch of the grass beneath your feet, all this commotion alert and the creepy crawly sending them buzzing and fluttering. The angelic songs of small birds, contrasted with the monotonous humming of nearby factories, create a strangely hypnotic tune. No, that's a lie. Create a strangely hypnotic tangle of sounds. After a while, you're caught up in a warm breeze and the faraway pylons draw ever so near, the crackling bleeding into the soundscape, the twist of a bottle top, the clatter of sticks on sticks, the faint tiptoeing of something small. These are the sounds of a small town walk. Thank you. See, that's where I'd usually end up after I said thank you, then a bit comes in, so I'm just used to saying. But yeah, it was literally the very beginning that I changed, if you couldn't already tell. And I just want to talk about poetry for a second. It doesn't always have to be something really deep and meaningful. Sometimes it can just be about the walk that you're on at the very moment in time. It could be about a pair of shoes, it could be about anything. It doesn't always have to be this massively deep, heartfelt thing. Well, no, that's a lie. I think it has to be heartfelt, because although it's not anything, it doesn't make you think about your world views or your philosophy, nothing like that. But it's taken a moment of time to appreciate exactly what's in front of you, what's around you, what you can hear, etc. You know. So it's still got heart in it. It's just a different form. Right. So after it says in the script here, because I wrote the script this time. Talk about the poem and stuff. Reprisal. Talk about plans. Alright, so it's plan time, eh? So the plans at the moment. I've got 2 big plans. Very big plans, both involving books. 1 small plan, I suppose. But it's a 1 small plan that's going to continue throughout the rest of my life, I hope. Unless I go blind. Right, that don't matter. Getting sidetracked. So the plans. I'm currently looking into opening my own business, which would be a bookshop. Not just a bookshop though, you know, I'd be supporting local artists, you know, having them come and show off their books, their drawings, paintings, music, etc, etc, you know. So that's the plan at the moment. I'm currently going through the Prince's Trust. They're like a charity type thing that was set up by the Count King in 1970 something when he was a prince. That's why it's called the Prince's Trust, obviously. So that's I'm looking into doing that. So hopefully that should be good. If it ever gets opened, if it actually works out, I've a nip down at some point, you know, that'd be cool and all. I also forgot to mention that my mate Nathan is helping me design the website for the shop. So, you know, credit where credit is due and all that. I'm not just doing this all on my own. So I'll put his website in the description if he wants us to. Because yes. The last thing I want to talk about is no, that's a lie. Second big plan is I am working on a poetry collection. I'm probably just going to publish on the Amazon publishing thing. Maybe not the best idea, but it's all I can do at the moment because it's hard to find a publisher. So once that gets released, if I go through it with it, you know, I try not to make too many promises just in case I don't go through with these promises, because I do a lot of things and forget a lot of things and get tangled up. You know, just silly neurodivergent brain shit. And now some book suggestions. I hope that's not like going out of focus and all that too much. I can hear it going, you know, that sort of thing. So I have recently finally got back into reading after a hiatus of. I mean, I read most days, but it was sort of like just bits and bobs popping up. I was like, oh yeah, I'll read this. But you know, I'm finally getting back into reading proper books. The first one I read was A Reaper Man by Terry Pratchett. I picked this up in W.H. Smith's because it was like get 3 for the price of 2 or something, so I thought, might as well. I got this, I got Bad Omens and The Colour of Magic. I started reading The Colour of Magic, I couldn't get into it as much as I got into this, you know. Quick rundown, Death has been fired. I'm not going to go into too much detail in case you want to read it yourself. It's fun. It's really fun. Death's been fired. Things are supposed to be dying, but obviously there's no death, so people can't die no more. And Death bumps into this little lass while he's working as a farmer. Anyway, like I said, not too much detail. It's a magical book. That's the best way I can describe it. So it's just pleasant. It's just all around pleasant. I like. I want to get more Terry Pratchett stuff. It's part of the Discworld collection. You know, yeah. I really enjoyed it. From the start to the end, it was all. I was engrossed in it. It's a world of magic, and yeah, it's sort of like a cozy book, I suppose. I suggest it. Also, I'm not, you know, a book critic or nothing, so I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. Oops, I almost dropped it. I can just go to the bottom. The next one I read, it actually, I started it last year, completely forgot about it, and then continued from where I left off, somehow remembering what happened. And that's Interview with the Vampire. I find the main character rather quite relatable. And a lot of the time people talk about the queer overtones of it, and yes, that is... Yeah, you can see it. Or is there maybe undertones of it? That's a band, Undertones. I recommend the band Undertones. But yes, I can see that. But my main focus, my main sort of thing that I grappled onto was the whole thing is about this guy sort of losing hope, becoming apathetic about this world. What, you know, that could have been great. It could have been a great life, but it just kept him fucking him over pretty much, I suppose. And in the end, he sort of let go of his humanity, doesn't he? And let me tell you, it's a fucking wild ride, you know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I will quite happily read this again and again and again, because it's beautiful. It is. Some of the descriptions in there are sensual, is the best way I can describe them. You know, wow, is all I can say. Really enjoyed it. Fucking brutal at times though. Lord of the Flies, I got this for Christmas off my sister. Oh, I also got Interview with the Vampire off one of my sisters. She was studying it in English, I think, in uni or college. I don't know. But yeah, got Lord of the Flies as a Secret Santa off my sister. Christmas just been. It's the educational edition. I ignore the educational parts because I dropped out. I don't need no education. Clearly too cool. Yeah, so Lord of the Flies. I feel like everyone knows what Lord of the Flies is. It's. Have you seen that meme? I'll try and pop it up on screen. Have you seen that meme where it's books everyone claims to have read? I feel like Lord of the Flies is one of them books, or like the book. What was it? One of the books that everyone wants to read. Some shit. Lord of the Flies. What can I say about it that people don't already know? It's about a group of kids stuck on an island, where once again it starts off quite hopeful, and then it dissolves. The society of children breaks down. Who could have guessed? Especially since the fucking English. Oh, have you seen what English kids are like? You should see the fucking schools. Worse than Lord of the Flies, let me tell you. Yeah. So once again, there was one of the parts. It's when Simon comes face to face with the Lord of the Flies, propped up on the stick. That part really got me like, what? Like, I'll show you my eyes. Whoa! I was literally like that. The whole book just kept on. I kept on wanting to read more. I read chapter like every day, or every other day. You know, when I got chance, when I got time. And there was one chapter I was sort of not as interested in that chapter. I can't even remember which one it was, but that's because it sort of slowed down for a moment. But I believe things need to slow down anyway. You can't just have constant things, you know, things constantly going and going and going, else there's no time to stop and think. But yes, one of the last things I have to say about it is, poor Simon. That was fucking... Whew. That got me, actually. I actually teared up when the Simon incident happened. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read it. God, I've just been fucking rambling on here, haven't I? Whew. Now, if you want to suggest any books for me to read, I'll look at them as well, and I'll try and get hold of them. And then after I've read them, I can, you know, use them as stock or whatever. So I've also, like I said, I've been out collecting stock for the new potential shop. And to be honest with you, it's terrible because I want to read all the things that I'm buying. Starting with The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. I picked this up with two other books, which was The Double by Dostoevsky. I hope I said his name right. I mean, it's not like he's going to complain. And another one by Voltaire, I think it was. Or maybe that was the name, I can't remember. I'm not as interested in that one. But yeah, The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. It's really piqued my interest, not just because of the cover art, but that is part of it. I read the description. A band of savage 13-year-old boys reject the adult world as illusionary, hypocritical and sentimental. When the mother of them begins an affair with the ship's officer, he and his friends idolise the man at first, but it is not long before they conclude that he is in fact soft and romantic. They regard this disillusionment as an act of betrayal on his part. Their retribution is deliberate and horrifying. Obviously, I've just finished reading Lord of the Flies, and the is that a blurb? I think the blurb's a bit on the back, isn't it? Reminds me of Lord of the Flies, so I was instantly like, yeah, I kind of need to read that now. And then I read the note on the front, in the front, you know, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but the guy who wrote this book, after he finished one of his series, he committed seppuku. I think he said he wasn't going to die until he finished that series, and after he finished the series, he committed seppuku. I don't actually know, but it's wrote by Yuko Mishima, I think. You know, that suggests giving his name a search. I want to put some more research into it myself, because that's really piqued my interest. It's tickled my brain. I want to read up about him. Next is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I've seen the movies, but obviously the books are always better than the movies. You know, so people always like to change things and wibble the wobble the things, so on and so forth. So I thought, might as well get the book. I actually found it in a charity shop. I was like, oh, not missing out on that, will I? Yeah, just Frankenstein. Good old monster story about the tragic monster. Don't know much else, to be fair, other than what I've seen. There's also The Double by Dostoevsky. I have a general interest in philosophy, so like I said, I got this, The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea, and Voltaire for £1 from a car boot sale the other day. I don't really know much at all. I only know, tinsy bits about Freud, Dostoevsky himself. Yeah, I'm going to read that. I hope it's good.
Caging Skies. Once again, I have seen the movie adaptation, I suppose. Well, the movie based off of the book, Jojo Rabbit. I mean, it says it right there. I quite enjoyed the movie. It was good fun, but I've heard the book is much it's darker than the movie, obviously. Well, the description's literally disturbing, moving, eminently readable. Eminently readable. I can't read apparently. And yet I've went out and bought a lot of books. Don't know much about it. I have an interest in history as well, and obviously this is set in World War II with the fall of the Nazis. I think it was. I think it's set during the fall of the Nazis. I don't completely know. I literally just know what I've seen in Jojo Rabbit. I've gobbled on for that long that my mouth went dry. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're all up to date. Oh, that reminds me actually, I've got another video coming out soon, don't worry. I done some more writing and I want to get that sorted. I can't say it's going to be one of the fancy ones because I don't have the staff. I had a mouse living in here the other day. I had to evict the poor sod because, well, he's going to chew up all my stuff. Already been at some of my paintbrushes. Yeah, I think that's it. Do I have anything else to say? No, I do not. I would say I hope you enjoyed, but there's nothing really amazingly enjoyable about it. There we go. But I hope, you know, we're on another level of understanding one another, because we have now chatted. Feel free to leave comments, suggesting books, tell me how great I am, tell me how shite I am. I don't mind. Feel free to share your own stuff, because that's always nice to see. Or just tell us that you write as well, I guess, or paint, or just share your interests, I suppose. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.